Hey guys, Illumini here. I am coming at you today to show you how to make some fat sub bass using a plugin called Spectre. We're going to be doing this inside Ableton Live 10, and essentially the reason I want to show you this is because a lot of times when you're producing and you put in that sub bass or 808 bass, whatever bass line it is, and you come back and you think it's all good on your monitors, but then you go to your car or your phone or whatever else, and you're just like, man, that I can't even tell that there's sub bass there, or I can't even tell that that 808 is hitting. So there's several different ways to remedy this. Probably the most common way being distortion or saturation. But oftentimes, whenever you're using distortion or even saturation, it can really dirty up the signal in a lot of ways that I'm not a fan of. So that's why I'm going to talk to you today about this plugin called Spectre. Essentially, this is at its core a sonic enhancer, which I guess you could sort of consider that a saturation type unit. But in my opinion, it offers a really clean signal. It also has a lot of features that kind of make it unique. I'll go ahead and jump in here. I dragged in this 808 sample that it was originally in the key of F, but I actually lowered it down even more. So many of you may not even hear what this 808 is doing until I start playing with this Spectre enhancer, and at some point you'll begin to hear the difference. And I'll make sure I click it off and on here so that way you guys can hear what's going on and how much of a huge difference this plugin can actually make. All right. So that is just the dry signal. Some of you might hear it if you're on some nice monitors or headphones. And now we're going to come back in and we're going to start playing with Spectre. So whenever I am using this strictly for enhancement, I like to turn this de-emphasis to enabled because this thing almost doubles as an EQ if you don't turn off the de-emphasis or turn it on. So whenever it's off, essentially whatever you do here, it's also going to boost the signal just like an EQ would. And granted, you're going to hear boost whenever this is enabled still. It's not so much just like an EQ boost. It's like you're actually adding in additional harmonic content. So whenever I'm just strictly wanting to warm something up, like a sub, I always turn this on. And, you know, if you needed some, an additional boost in whatever area you're trying to enhance, then yeah, you could go ahead and turn this back off. That would work fine. But aside from that, I usually turn the quality to best just because my computer's pretty decent at handling that. And there's a bunch of cool presets here that you can experiment with, although I usually like to just do things my way. Presets to me are like a good starting point. But anyways, with sub bass, I usually go all the way to aggressive, sometimes medium. And my favorite types of enhancement here is solid, warm, tube, and tape. Solid is great for 808s and more dissonant basses like dubstep or something. Tube, I've noticed, is a lot more harmonic. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain without just hearing it. But yeah. And if you want something that's less, I don't know, less harsh or less, I don't even know what the word would be. Something with a little less of an effect. Tape is a really good one, I've noticed. It's smooth and it's subtle, but it also adds some nice character. All right. We're going to go ahead and leave it on solid, and we're going to start playing with this. All right. I don't know if you guys could hear that pretty dramatic difference. I know I heard it. And granted, boosting at 8 dB is quite a bit. But if you were going for, just that crazy, I don't know, hip hop trap like sub, then yeah, you could even boost as much as that. And I've noticed this can be a forgiving scenario if the mix is not really clogged up with those lower frequencies. All right, now I'd like to talk about another use case scenario that I am actually finding myself using this plugin for. And recently I have started, I'm in the process of starting a mixing and mastering business online. So I'm mastering people's tracks. A lot of people want a really warm sound out of their music, and occasionally their bass won't be hitting where it should be. Now, I'm not saying this is the perfect plugin for every scenario where you need more bass or more warmth, but I've noticed for adding some additional warmth in those low mids especially, this thing really gets the job done. Now, I've taken this snippet of a track that I actually created. It was a track I made on a course from EDM Prod, but that's kind of besides the point. I have taken this track and I have really scooped out the low frequency range there, just to kind of give you an idea of what this thing can really do for a track that might be lacking low end. Let's go ahead and take a listen before that dip in the EQ. Now with the dip in the EQ. All right, now we're going to come in with the Spectre enhancer. See, whenever I'm working on the low end, regardless of what I'm doing, I like to add a cutoff filter so that way I can really hear what's going on with the low end in general, instead of having to focus on all of the spectrum. So we're going to go ahead and add some enhancement here. And by the way, I left de-emphasis on disabled this time because I actually want that additional boost in the low end. All right, let's give that a shot. Let's turn off our cutoff filter. And here is the before. Alrighty Alrighty guys, well that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in this video. If you guys like what you're seeing today, then definitely hit that like and subscribe button, and I will definitely appreciate that. Anyways, hope everybody has a great day, and yeah, take care.